Hey guys, it's Gary, and welcome back to Get Going Fast, the place where we get into this excellent hobby of AI and hopefully sort of a quick manner in which you learn something along the way. So we're going to actually be looking at a little program today, a little Flux Inpainting. Now, this is going to be one of these things where we get to take a normal photo and then we can change it up according to what we want to do just by doing some painting. And we're going to be doing this within the Comfy UI application, which is really cool. So this actually is not a big install. This is just kind of, you can almost look at this more as sort of a training sort of an app that we're going to be working on here. Give you a lot of exercise in getting to know the Comfy UI, because as you may have learnt, Comfy UI is just one of these things that you have to get used to, and it always looks a little bit intimidating. Okay, and by a little bit intimidating, I mean a lot intimidating. But really, once you get playing with this stuff, it's not that difficult. You kind of figure out what to ignore, what to pay attention to. And you got me here, so we're going to walk through this as well, the Flux Inpainting. Now, I do want to point out that we have as usual, we do have a Get Going Fast model manager that I'm going to point out at some point, which is just as easy as clicking and downloading and then hitting the button, and it downloads everything for you, gets you going in your Comfy UI. But as usual, we're going to walk through this step by step as well, because y'all need practice. I mean, it's just like anything, right? You know, your AI skills, it's like a muscle that you have to exercise. And so this is a great exercise. But before we do that, thank you so much for liking this video. Thank you for sharing the channel with your friends. We're growing, and it's always great to grow together, right? Like you know, you meet your gal when you're both a little bit young and skinny, and you grow and you get big and plump together, sitting back and enjoying each other's company over the years. And that's what it wants to do with you guys and all. Let's just grow fat on this AI stuff together and just enjoy our time. So thanks for being part of that, Fatso, and looking forward to this tutorial. So before we do that, again, thank you for liking our Instagram, checking us out on X. Come hit us up on the Reddit. We will treat you nice on Reddit. No one else is going to treat you nice on Reddit. We'll treat you nice. We'll thumb up your stuff. We'll give you a thumbs up because I think it's very cool what you're working on. Check out our music over on Day Singing, and I guess that's it for all of the self promotion. Yo, let's get on to Comfy UI and doing some Flux Inpainting. Okay, so to get going with this project, first thing we're going to do is download the workflow. A lot of times with this Comfy UI stuff, the easiest thing to do is figure out the workflow that you want to run, download it, and then you see all of the things that you need, okay? Because a lot of times with this stuff, there's different models and there's different... you might have a model that looks like it's this other model, but it's got subtle differences. And so you're like, well, hey, why isn't it working on this other one? And there's some nuance. So best thing, in my opinion, to do, figure out the workflow you want, get it into your Comfy UI, and then I just hit the Q button, like the go button, and it will pop up all sorts of errors. And then you can just start dealing with each one of those. Kind of like lights pop on and you just turn a light off bit by bit. Yo. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop over to our browser, and we're going to use this workflow for this project here. This is also the workflow that's used in the model manager. The model manager will download this for you. I will put this link into the description so that you can easily grab it. Okay, and you're going to see here it uses masks and then creates different faces according to the mask. So all we need to do here is download this. Now I'm going to go ahead and click to full screen, and I guess we'll just do this like this because I think it's just kind of easier. But so I'm going to pop over to the desktop and let's turn these bad boys on. Okay, a little bit messy. Let's do this. There we go. Okay, let's pop this up. Now, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I find the download, the workflow that I wanted. This is at civitai.com. Again, if you don't have a Civitai account, you need to get one. Okay, You can get your models, your workflows. I'm going to click my downloads, and then I'm going to go find my Comfy UI installation. Okay, so notice this is my main Comfy UI folder. This is what I call outside of your Comfy UI folder. This all inside of it. See, if I click it, right, I go inside it. This is all the app itself. These are where we're going to put our models and stuff like this. Right now, what we want to do is we want to work outside of the Comfy UI folder. And what I'm going to do is you want to create a folder called workflows. Now, this isn't necessary, doesn't have to be like this, but this is just a good way to organize your stuff. So you just right click, go new folder, create something called workflows. Okay. Then you can go in here and then you can create your different ones. See, I've got a folder for Flux, Hunyuan. Okay. I've doubled up this one for some reason. That's probably just, I wasn't paying attention. And then I got a Wan one. So again, just go in here. If you have nothing, just right click, go new folder, Flux. Okay. Then go in there and you're going to notice we're saving a zip file. Okay. So go ahead and save it as a zip. All right. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pop up to our Windows Explorer. So same thing, we're going to go outside our Comfy UI, find the workflows folder we created. You'll see that you created your Flux folder, just an easy way to keep track of stuff. And you see I've already got it all down here, but here's that zip file. So just if you're running WinRAR, it's really easy because you just right click on it and you go WinRAR extract here. I like using WinRAR because when you open this zip files with your Windows stuff, it actually opens up the whole zip file and then you have to drag and drop or do something. With WinRAR, you can just literally click on it and have it say extract here. So now you see, actually it's this one, it's extracted it to there. So there's the workflow we're going to use. Next thing you need to do is go back to your Comfy UI, and if you've installed it correctly, you should have something that says run comfy.bat. Okay, if you're using the portable version, then you should have something that says like run NVIDIA GPU or something like that. But you'll see a run thing. Run that up. That's going to load up this page, this command prompt page. Okay, and it will go through all of this stuff. Okay, this is got that there, but this is going to run through all this, and it's going to open up to here where you see to see the GUI go to here. So just hold down your left mouse button or your left control button and then click with your left mouse button. And that's going to pop up your Comfy workflows. Okay. Now this is your basic one. If you see this, this is your basic. When you first install it, it comes with this in here. This is just your typical generate a bottle with a landscape inside of it model. There you go. Okay, so it's a nice easy way to do images, but we want to get into the Flux Inpainting. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on workflow and then we're going to click open. Okay, it's going to bring up this bad boy, and notice it brought me outside of my Comfy UI folder. Okay, so that's good. If you're not there, you need to navigate your way there. And then I'm going to go to my workflows, going to find my Flux, and then there's my Inpaint Outpaint. Okay, so now I click it and notice it brings up the workflow. Now, this looks a little bit intimidating. It's kind of big, okay? That's fine. Don't worry about it. We're just going to work on portions of this at a time. I think you might also notice that down, is that this one? No, there was another one. There was a bunch of stuff down there. It wasn't this one. But we're going to focus over here on uploading our image. We'll be working with this automatic masking. A lot of this stuff, see, we don't need to worry about. We'll scroll over to here. Yeah, see, and then all we're really going to be worrying about is the prompt and the models. So this is your models up here. All the rest of this stuff you really don't have to worry about, okay? And it's just going to output over to here. Okay, it's kind of like using a telephone. You need to know the receiver and the buttons, but you don't need to understand the wiring that goes out of your phone and all of the switches over at the phone company and all this kind of stuff. It's cool to know, and it might help on some level, but for the most part, what we're doing here, we don't really need to know that. Okay, so now we've got this all loaded up. Now, like I said, the first thing we want to do is just hit run. Okay, it's going to load up with all these default models up here. we don't have to worry about there not being an image in it. Now, obviously with inpainting, if you're going to be inpainting an image, you need to have an image. We don't need to worry about that just yet, although I suppose we could, just for the sake of shit and giggles, put one in there. Okay, so we can work with that one. But let's go ahead and watch. We're going to click the run button that's over here. We can drag it wherever we want. And notice all these red things are going to pop up. These are all the models that we're going to need. Okay. And again, the reason we download the workflow first is that it this way we can actually see the models we need. It's going to pop up with these errors. Then we know where to go. So let's go ahead and look at this one. It says we need one that's called Flux 1 Dev FP8 E4M F3N. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just type this into our browser. We're not going to press enter because we don't really want to leave this page, but you'll see you get it all typed in, and we're going to just go Control A and X. Okay, and we're just going to go over to our browser and just paste that in. We'll open a new tab, and notice we're going to find the exact same thing. So you want to find one that has the exact same thing. Kijai is the man. He totally puts together the models we need. So a lot of times if you see something with Kijai, you know you're on the right track. So let's just click this one here, okay, this hug and face. And it's going to bring us up here, and we can confirm, okay, that is the file that we need. All right. So file stored with get LFS stands for large files. Doesn't matter about it. We're just going to click the download button. And it's going to go ahead and pop this up. But before we do that, let's actually see where it's supposed to go. Okay, so this is going to go in our diffusion models folder. So let's go back here. We'll click download, and then we got to go over to our Comfy UI folder. So there's our Comfy UI. Now we're going to go inside the Comfy UI and click models. Okay, and then we're going to click here on diffusion models. Now I've got a bunch of stuff already in here, but it's all good. I'm just going to go ahead and click save. Okay, that is going to start downloading that. Okay, and that's pretty large file, so that's 11 gigabytes. That take a little bit of time. Okay, now we can pop over and we can see this next one. Okay, this is going to I think is going to be go in our clips folder. Okay, so this one, same thing. We can see it's called T5XXL FP8. So let's go up here and go T5XXL FP8. Okay, so I've already got it typed in there, but you'll type it in there. Same thing. Control A, Control C. Then we can go back over to here, put that in there, and oh, look at that. And notice we got the scaled version. Okay, there's a version of this that's not scaled. This one is calling for the scaled version. So let's go ahead and click that. Same thing. File store with GLF. You can still download it, so we'll do it. Now it'll bring us up to the last one that we downloaded to. So we're in our diffusion models. We're going to go one folder up to here, and now we can just click on clip. Okay, and let's go ahead and save that into there, and that will begin its download. All right, now we look down here. Here's another one. Here's one that's not all that common. So VITL 14 best. So let's type this in. VITL 14 best smooth GMT. Okay, so you type it all in there. I've typed it in. Control A, Control C. We'll go back here. Same thing. Do a Google search for it. And here we found one under Hug and Face. Okay, click it. Download it. We're going to put it into the clip folder. Save. All right. So we are marching our way through this. Okay, now we need this LoRa. So a LoRa, again, is like, it's kind of like putting a cap on it. It's a way you're generating using a basic model to create all the other stuff, but then the LoRa adds a little bit extra to it, like a shirt or a certain positions or whatever, you know. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and type in here Flux .1 dash turbo alpha safe tensors. So Control A to copy the whole thing, or to highlight the whole thing. Control C to copy it. Then we'll go back over here, and there it is. Flux 1 Turbo Alpha Safe Tensors. Okay, let's make sure Flux 1 Turbo Alpha Safe. Yep. So we'll click that. Same thing. Download this. This time, what we're going to do is go to our models, and we're going to put it in our LoRa's. Okay, LoRa, And it's already there, but I'll replace it. Okay. So going back here now, we have control net models. Okay, we're on the run here. So, same thing. We're going to type in 1-dev-controlnet Inpainting beta. Okay, we're going to, whoops. Oh, I got lazy there and I almost lost our page. Control net dash Inpainting. So I can see it down here, but it's not letting us get there. Inpainting dot beta dot fp8 dot safe tensors. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here we go. Now, if you ever are trying to find these, okay, like this, notice it brought us up here, but I actually can't download these. Okay, so this isn't good. So let's just actually just type it into here. So it brought me up, Google brought me to a page with stuff that I can't do anything with. Okay, if I click on these things, all it does is just opens this up. So what I can do is go up here to the top, type it in, and then look at, here's a copy of it under this fellow called Napalm. So we'll click there, then it'll bring us up to it. There it is. So download it. This time we're going to put it in the folder called ControlNet. Okay, and I've already got it there, but we'll just download it again. Okay. Now, almost done. Now we got this last one, this VAE, okay, and this is called AE Safe Tensors. Very likely if you've been using your Comfy UI, you already have this. This is a very common one here, so you just type it in. This is all over the place on the internet. You can find it. And this one is going to go under our VAE. Okay. So we click Save. Now we can click up here and we can see that, okay, look, they're actually all done. So while we were doing that, it all got done. So now if we go back to here, what we're going to do is hit our reload button. Okay. And now watch, I'm going to hit run. I'm probably still going to get errors, but I'm going to show you why. Okay, so look at it, found these ones, didn't find this one, but notice how it says Flux over here. It's looking for it in a model, in a folder. It's not there. So we're just going to click here, and then we're going to go find the one that we downloaded. So then we'll just click it. Notice it changed it. Then we'll do the same over here, our alpha, turbo alpha safe tensors, same. Do over here, there's our control net. There's our AE safe tensors. Okay, now if we go ahead and hit enter, it'll run. But first, let's do something to this. Now, I'm going to show you how this workflow works, okay? Well, before I do it, let's just go ahead and press enter just to make sure that this works. And so let's change to photo of a cowgirl with black dreadlocks. Okay, now, what we would normally need to do, this is the photo we're going to be changing. I'll just delete this stuff. If we just want to do it off the back, we would undo this automatic masking. Otherwise, we would need to go in here and do some manual painting ourselves, which we're going to do. But first, let's just do a basic one where it does it for us. So notice over here it says automatic masking, but these are all purple and everything. That's because these have been bypassed. So think of it like a circuit. Circuit flows into here, then it flows into here. But we're saying this circuit over here we don't want to use. So let's do a bypass. We're just going to bypass it. We're not even, and that's what this does. If you right click on it, you'll see over here it says something about bypassing. Well, here we'll right click on the purple. There it says bypass. So we're going to click it. It's going to undo it. Okay, and we're going to undo all of these. Okay, now if we go ahead and hit run, it's going to go through this. Let's make sure I got all this other stuff. Yeah, okay. So it's going to go through this. And it's going to take a little bit of time because the first time you run this stuff, it loads models up. Okay, so it's it's kind of like studying at the library, right? Like say you're at school and you got to study, and when you first getting ready to do your first research, it takes a bit of time because you got to go to the bookshelves, you got to get your books, you got to open up the books, get to the pages, and so the very first problem you're doing takes a little bit of time. But after that, you've got your books open, you got your references open, and then it goes faster. And in the same way, Flux has to load all of this stuff into memory. Okay, and that initial loading into memory takes a little bit of time. So you can see it's kind of taking a little bit of time, but it's going to go through there and it's going to do its thing. Now it's also taking a little bit of time too because I got all this AI stuff going on. So let me go ahead and while we're sitting here, I'm going to turn off some of this stuff that'll make it go a little bit faster. This is our NVIDIA broadcast. This is all of the podcasting stuff that we're doing. I can do the same over here with the audio. Now watch, you're actually going to see the audio quality go down, but we'll turn it back on here in a bit. Okay, so that's going to save up some resource. There, see how that jumped ahead? Okay, so we're just waiting. And there we go. It popped up now. Let's turn this back on. Okay, so you can see it went ahead and it auto changed it for us, okay? Gave her black dreadlocks. That's I made some mistakes up there. Obviously, you can play around with it. But I want to show you how this worked. This automatic mask thing worked. Over here, under this prompt, notice it's checking her face, neck, hair, and skin. So if I really only wanted, if I didn't want to change her face, let's say, I want to see, it actually changed her face from that to something different. Let's say I want to keep her face. We could actually click here and undo that. Okay, we could, we want her to keep her skin, but all we want to do is change the hair, the neck and the hair. Maybe we just want to change the hair. So you can type in here what the thing that you want to change. And the point is that it will then go ahead and do it. So let's go ahead and do it again. We've changed that initial prompt. Let's go ahead and hit run. This should go a little bit faster now that we've loaded it up already. Okay, well, I actually did change your skin. And did it change your face actually as well? Oh, it kept her face basically in the same angle. So interesting. Okay, so obviously this is automatic masking. Oh, look at that. It didn't change. This is why. Let's, I didn't press the OK button. So let's go ahead and try it now. Notice it kept her posture though. Oh, there we go. So now she's got the same face. It kind of changed her hair. It's probably having a hard time figuring out dreadlocks with a with her skin color or whatever. So the models, they make relationships, right? So you could change this up. Let's say her, oh, I don't know. What else could we change? Change her neck, her hair. Maybe we just want to change her face. Let's just do face. And we'll make sure we press that OK. And then let's just say photo of a photo of a clown. Let's see if it'll put a clown face on her. So all we're doing there, it should be all the same clothes, but just with the face change. So let's see how that works. There you go. Okay, so notice that worked really good there with the prompt. All we did was change the one. We didn't change the hair. We didn't change the hat. So this is your automatic masking. Okay, so cool for us. Now, let's go ahead and let's say we want to go the normal route here without auto masking it. Well, I'm going to right click on the whole box here, and what I can do is I can type bypass group nodes, and now notice it bypassed it. So now all these connections that are made into here, it's going to skip over them. But we're going to get over here and it's going to want to run all this stuff. And unless we give it something to change, it's not going to change anything. So we go to our original photo, right click on it, and then down here we're going to click Open in Mask Editor. Okay, now notice it brings up a new page and it gives us this thing here. Okay, that's our mask. This is how we can paint a mask. So we're going to hit Reset to Default. Let's clear it. Okay, notice I can change the thickness of this. I should be able to change the size. Oh yeah, that made it small. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So let's say we just want to change her shirt. So I'll make this big enough so that I can get a bunch of swath. Let's just go like this. Okay, so I want everything to stay the same except for her shirt. So now I'm going to go save. And now notice it brings it back to where we were, but with the mask over it. So now I'm going to go up to here. I'm not worrying about any of this because we're bypassing this. And I'm going to say photo of a cowgirl wearing suspenders. Okay. And we'll hit Control Enter or hit your run button. And it's going to run through that. And now it's already flowed over to here, but it flowed through all of this stuff. It skipped all of the auto masking. And there you go. Popped it up, all of a sudden she's wearing suspenders. See, it only changed the part that I wanted to do. So let's do this. Let's right click on this gal. Actually, let's do this. Let's open. How can we do this? I want to get this photo. Let's drag this photo over to here so it opens up here in a new Brett tablet. Then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to grab it, drag it over here, and let's put it here. So we want to work with this clown photo. So now let's do the same thing. Let's right click and let's go over to, where's it at there? Open in Mask Editor. Now let's do the same thing. Let's paint this. Go save. And let's just go. Oops, so you get lost. So I'm going to just use your mouse wheel to go out. And let's go photo of a clown wearing a clown suit. And Control Enter or run. It'll pop through there. And we put the other image in there. And there you go. Okay. So that looks a little bit squished. You might want to play around with the dimensions on that. That's probably because it made it so big. So notice it made it 1536 by 640. I'm not quite sure that did it. So that's going to be over here somewhere in our parameters. But you can play around with this, look at it, and figure out where the actual width and height are. And you can play with that. I'm actually not quite sure what setup, but one of these things you can play with. It's going to be your width and your height. So what I would do is probably do something like this. Nearest. Let's go back and see, because it actually did it with all of those. It actually made them all wide for some reason. Let's go back and run this one again and see what it does. Okay, so it made it wide as well. So we'll have to play around with this and figure out how to get that a bit smaller. But you can see that it made it. And you can always do something like this as well. You copy that image, go over to your paint, pop that bad mamma jamma in. And you can always tuck it back in like that and make it the size you want. Okay, so there you have it. Flux Inpainting is pretty groovy stuff. So let's get back over here, and there you have it. All right, your Flux Inpainting. Easy peasy. Let me just show you this real quick. Click over to our File Explorer. This is the absolute easiest way to get going fast with this, is just get the Flux Inpaint Model Manager from Get Going Fast. That's free for all members, for Farmhand members over there. You just click that, and that pops up this, and then we can just download you just click that one and it will download everything that you needed. Okay, if you need to delete models along the way, like you want to free up space, you can delete one by one, or sometimes they come corrupted. You can delete it that way. If you want to download individual stuff, you can do it this way as well. Okay, so easy peasy, extra squeezy. That is the get going fast way. But we've also done the exercise way. Going out. It's leg day, guys. Yo, so good job, Comfy UI. Let's see the stuff you're working on. Come over to Discord. I'd love to see what you're working on. So bring it on over, be part of the community, and I guess, we'll just leave it there. So as usual, be good to each other, and we will catch you, on the other side. Yo.